Hello, and welcome back to the Elemental I Ching. And today we're going to drink in GK55, one of the master keys of this incredible work called the Jing Keys, as well as in the I Ching. It's the hexagram of abundance, and it moves from the shadow of victimization through the gift of freedom to the city of freedom. As Richard describes, it's the joker in the deck, right? 2 words. And it's also this underlying fundamental frequency spectrum within all of the Jing Keys and within this great technology that lets us see the gift hidden in every shadow. That lets us to allow, accept, embrace the fuel of that victim, to look for where is the victim hiding in this situation, in my complexity, in my stress, in my failure, right? All the shadows of the Gene Keys, they're a victimization of our external reality and fuel an opportunity for liberation of a creative service and that grift, the freedom, the opportunity to serve and love and play with that same frequency without reacting or repressing against it. And where can we find our freedom? Even in situations that are easy to logically put ourselves in a victim state. How can we find that inner sovereignty, that inner peace amidst disturbance? So this has been a difficult video for me to get around to making. This is challenging for me, and so I really sat in my tea and listened. Why is this so challenging for me? And it's because of how powerful this conversation about victimization is. And as a person of privilege, with my race, with my current surroundings, with my opportunities of the gifts that I've been given in this lifetime, as well as my own traumas and challenges with death, with addiction, with family crisis, with money, with, I have my own path, and somehow I have a fear of being invalidated or of not having the right words or the right grace to talk about victimization, because it's easy to bypass using these kind of new age or as a friend of mine said, the new cage movement, right? These philosophies that can be very dangerous actually to the human psyche and to our life together. We have to be very mindful, heartful, aware with how we use this language in our inner process work and how we direct that language at someone else. And I know that there are a lot of people going through a lot of struggle right now in the world. I know people and friends and family and dear community members in my life struggling with deep anxiety and depression, struggling with really powerful changes in their life, struggling with death, struggling with illness, struggling with psychosis, and so there's all of this trauma and challenge that's being brought up to the surface. And in our world, in our global climate, there's just so much unease and unrest and agitation and potential fires being started. And it's a very intense time to be alive. So I'm really tender today, trying to speak with grace about freedom. And I can only really speak from my own aspirations, my own internal experiences, because I don't want to perpetuate a spiritual bypass technology that ignores the depths and the intricacies of things like sexual abuse, of power abuse, of war and decimation of the land and of our waters. There's a really important place that's being agitated. This hexagram is the thunder and the fire. This is the agitation, the wake-up call of the universe, the electrical impulse of disaster, of change, of challenge, to wake up the spirit of fire, to wake up the longing of the heart to be alert and aware and alive. And that's what challenge has done for me in my life. And then there are big problems, and then there are little problems. And the little problems are opportunities for me to get a handle on this prayer that is in my heart for to discover peace and freedom amidst disturbance and challenge in every situation, to open myself completely to the opportunity of being free right here, right now, with nothing to hold on to, with a trust in the divine circuitry of life. with a trust that everything that's brought to me is an opportunity for more love, for more harmony, for growth and inspiration and passionate intent. And so I was working very hard this last week on the Jinky Society move over to its new website to try and make sure that the process went as smoothly as possible for everyone. And in that process, I took some time off for a beautiful dinner for a friend of mine's birthday, and I was gifted. Me and my beloved, we were gifted a Damascus steel blade, a new knife. And as I was cleaning this beautiful new knife, I got a nice bite from this new friend, and it was an amazing opportunity to turn a deep moment of pain and even panic. I don't think I've bled that much in a while. It was an intense experience to feel all of that sensation and to feel even those tiny little blames of my mind of like, oh, I was distracted because of that, and oh, and just those little tiny ways to victimize yourself in the situation. And instead, I really took the opportunity, to pray with the knife and just honor, may this blood be an offering so that no one else in my family has to learn from this mistake. And not being victimized by the sensation, but actually using it as an opportunity to channel positive intention and to learn and to grow. And then, I've spent the next night, I was unable to type. I had 36 hours left of work to do, and I'm unable to move the mouse and to type because it was in such pain. And so I trusted and allowed and received the moment as it was. And the next day I was able to work enough and complete the project. But it's been a really good teacher for me of not being victimized even by this very external circumstance that's, I can't really turn the knob to open the door right now. I'm really having to be tender and careful with my body, and to learn how to be free in my consciousness, to be free and generous and abundant with loving kindness to myself and to the situations, and to listen to what is the universe bringing to me in this opportunity. I could sit stuck in my head about how this sucks, and here I am stuck in my own inner cycle of pain, or I could really use this as an opportunity to live fully, to see myself even more deeply, to be free. And freedom for me is this romantic longing of the heart, that longing, the desire of the fire that wants to be free, and the initiative of the thunder that is here to take action, to take the evolutionary impulse, to choose love in the face of non-love, to choose strength and integrity and grace, and using its energy to rise up into that fire. And freedom in the Bagua is the initiative with light, the initiative of light, the initiative with lightness, to play with reality. I read this great quote from the I Ching of operating, this hexagram is abundance. Operating from abundance means that by expecting that everything is moving exactly as it should, we need not hold on to anything. Our arms are open and nothing comes to threaten our sense of peace. This is my aspiration in my life. This is what I'm choosing to do with this energy, with all of the Jinkis and my Buddhist teachings and my own, explorations of life. And I don't expect anyone else to understand that or find that for them, understand that from me, but we have to find this for ourselves. I have lived through too many challenging situations, through trauma, through experiences of disease, through experience of detox, through experience of fear and terror and pain and suffering. And I keep seeing life growing and loving and spiraling. And even in the craziest of disturbance, I feel in my cells this opportunity to keep being this burning fire of love, to be the rapturous intent, to be in my ferocious devotion to life, no matter what the shadow and the obscurities and the victim mind wants to see. It's how I want to live my life. From the tiniest, the cuts of my daily life, to the big challenges and traumas that I experience, to the collective experience that we're going through, of challenge and detox, of destruction, thunder breaks things apart. It is a destructive force. It can split the tree in half. But it's also sending powerful nitrogen into the soil for new life to spring up. You know, the thunder in Taoist alchemy is not just the thunder of awakening the destructive part of that strike, but it's the green dragon of new life that is growing upward. You know, and that's that evolutionary influence of this 55th key. It's that freedom, it's that incredible desire of the plant to burst through the concrete of conditioning, to receive the light of life, to grow, the freedom, the boundlessness of our freedom, the absolute power of abundance. And it's not just abundance like money or even resources. The abundance that I feel this key is talking about is the infinite generosity of my loving kindness towards life. The infinite generosity of presence. You know, my time is limited. And I have to value that because my time is limited. It isn't a dualistic experience. My resources, you know, I have to budget my money, my tea, you know, I have to budget these limited resources, a part of being in a human body and a human experience. But presence, and loving kindness, we have more depth available to us at all times for love and compassion. And every place that I get stuck in my victimized mind and think, well, I don't want to do this, I either complain or I blame. That's the reactive and repressive of this victimization. Are we complaining or blaming life? Well, can I just open my arms and receive life as it is and as it is becoming? I ask myself that all the time, and I find a well, an infinite well of energy, of love and compassion, of resources to rise up from me in response to life. Can I love the pain, the sensation, not from some wallowing, addictive masochist. I'm a masochist. I like to get punished. There's a fire in there for me that helps me to grow, that helps me to learn how to eat sensation. It's a part of my life. But we don't have to learn just from suffering. Suffering is a profound, powerful teacher. And we do need to get in right relation with learning from these experiences. But it's not just suffering. There's a lightness there. There's a joy there. When we can take the story a little more lightly. So that's my goal in my life in every situation, is to keep finding that inner freedom. And I don't prescribe that that's easy. I don't, you know, I have such compassion, and it hurt. That's why this video was hard for me to even start, is I hurt for the many people who are still literally enslaved in our modern day reality. And the people who have been abused sexually and physically, and the wars and the genocide and the you know, this movement of eviction of people from their homes, and this disturbance. It's hard to even fathom. And I don't want my freedom, especially as an American, where freedom is supposedly one of our greatest values, but freedom is not, you know, sovereignty and freedom, it doesn't mean that you are alone in the universe. Like, my freedom impacts the world. My consumerist tendencies impact the world. It's important to get in right relation with how my life is a part of that larger weave. So I don't choose a freedom that isolates me, that is disconnected. I choose a freedom of awakened rapture, of the ability to be alert, be alive, to be love, amidst the disturbing waves, amidst the challenge. I feel it's the only thing I can do, is to cultivate that presence and that patience and that trust. Because the world's problems are way bigger than I can possibly comprehend how to help. I do my part as much as I can. But I do feel this evolution, this mutation of it's an inside job, that I have to get myself, my life, into right relation. I have to discover freedom inside my cells. Because to be human can feel like a trap sometimes. Can feel like I'm trapped. Can feel like I'm stuck in a physical body and I'm stuck in this current culture, or I'm stuck in this environment, or I'm stuck in this relationship. And I can find all these tiny little gremlins of thought that blame and complain about my reality. And I'm very grateful that currently in my life I'm very happy, and I wish all beings to be happy and free. I will keep finding that happiness and freedom inside myself and offering and sharing that abundantly from my heart, to show up with loving kindness to the challenges in life, to show up with loving kindness to every person who chooses to sit in front of me. I'll do my best to be a reflection and a resource of that abundant love that my teachers have taught me, that life has taught me, that I believe our natural core programming is this infinite love and compassion. Many blessings on this day. May we inquire deeper, where is the victim hiding in my life? Today the victim was hiding for me in being afraid of releasing a video about this. So I hope that there's something of benefit, and at the very least, I will boldly romance my heart enough to release this in my own vulnerability and in my own authenticity. Because that's what the Gene Keys are for me. They're just a tool, a reminder, a game to be authentic, vulnerable, honest, inspired, and directed towards the coherency of my heart, breath, and brainwave state, to a relaxed body, and to allow life, the intelligence of life, the living wisdom, to inform me every day. So many blessings for you and for all of us. May all beings be free and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Many blessings.